Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime Local News. Saskatchewan is reporting 6 new cases of COVID-19. 2 are in Saskatoon, 3 in Regina, and 1 in the Central West Zone. 133 are considered active, 2 of those in the region that includes Lloydminster and North Battleford. 9 people are in hospital, 1 of those in intensive care. 19 more people have recovered. The City of Lloydminster's Economic Response Task Force has been working with businesses throughout the pandemic, and a new grant is being proposed from their findings. Eric Bay reports.
In their update, the Economic Response Task Force outlined many businesses were unprepared for the move to online shopping in the pandemic. The proposed e-commerce support grant would provide relief to small businesses that have incurred costs when creating their online platforms.
We saw a traditional shift from what retailers would have saw people coming in their doors to just an incredible uptake on online shopping and things like that. Their presence, even just letting people know what they have in their store before they get to the store so they don't have to go searching for it.
$10,000 would be available, capped at either $500 or $1,000 per business. Businesses looking to apply would need to prove expenses after the pandemic began in areas such as web development or shipping.
We've heard from the business community, what has the city done? We've delayed taxes and delayed water and sewer payments through the utility bill. But this is just that little bit more to maybe help that small business potentially, if that's what council so chooses, to help move that just a few dollars to cover some of those costs.
The task force will continue to engage with businesses during the pandemic, and it may be permanent going forward.
We get some input from people, but by reaching out to a task force and having members of the community on a task force, you get a broader perspective, and they bring very valuable information to the table during those meetings. So I think that from that perspective, that task force will be in place for some time.
A decision on the grant will be made at next week's City Council meeting. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
The idea of outdoor learning has grown for one Lloydminster Elementary School. Connor Chan has more on Mother Teresa's outdoor learning space.
First graders at Mother Teresa Early Childhood Education Center are celebrating the first day of fall with their annual Fall Fun Day, combining their current curriculum with hands-on learning while taking advantage of the new outdoor learning space. Many of the fall activities go in hand with the lesson plan, from physical education with games like ring toss to learning about patterns in math from using the music wall. Having these spaces helps kids explore the world outside their classroom.
So our school really values spending time outside. That's why we have this wonderful outdoor classroom. So it was really important. The kids just getting in touch with nature is super important too. And it just lets them explore. I don't think we get outside enough for kids anymore.
Included in the outdoor learning space is the newly built teepee, where they learn the meaning of each individual pole, the headdress, and the practices of Indigenous culture.
Our teepee has got many different stories within it that help us guide our children. They tell us the positions of women in the band. So it's not just a home, it's a multi-purpose tool for us.
Teaching the values of Indigenous culture has been an integral part of the students' education, as there has been a need to create awareness and have an understanding of it from an early age.
This is something very new we've started within the last 10 years, where people are starting to learn the Canadian history, and it's very important, and it's very important to teach the kids at a young age so they understand, and they understand the concepts as they get older and in their changing world.
We are located on Treaty 6. It is something that we haven't recognized enough, so we just thought that inviting our liaison and teaching the kids earlier, just so that they have a basis, is super important.
The school will continue to use the outdoor space for all their students going forward. Connor Chan, Primetime Local News.
September 30th is Orange Shirt Day, a day honoring Indigenous people who are in residential schools in Canada. In this week's Beyond the Classroom, we look at how the Lloydminster Public School Division is teaching students the importance of the day. At Queen Elizabeth School, this is one of the presentations given to students on the history of Orange Shirt Day and the reasons why we wear an orange shirt.
Orange Shirt Day is a campaign that that began in 2013, and it brings out a bigger topic of residential schools. Orange Shirt Day is a part of reconciliation. It's part of the awareness that needs to be shared, and so that we can provide or have that understanding. So we move toward acceptance and we make better communities.
Chokan believes that teaching this topic to students at a young age will help them understand what Indigenous people went through and why it's important they learn about it.
This was something that was never taught to non-Indigenous people in Canadian education. As I told the students, their parents, grandparents, great-grandparents had no clue of what had happened with residential schools. In fact, a lot of Canadians still don't know a lot about Indigenous cultures and history.
The last residential school in Canada closed in 1996, so current students may not know anyone who personally went through the schools, but they can still learn from them.
It's good that our schools have people that come and they'll explain their story or tell about other people's stories. The teachers weren't really nice back then, and so we're lucky to have the good schools now.
LPSD will be continuing to work with students from many different schools across the division leading up to Orange Shirt Day.
This week and next week to all the schools from grade 1 to grade 9 is that we're doing virtual presentations online. And then with the acceptance of this one, it was a perfect day to do it live and in class, but actually outdoors.
You have goals, and Lakeland College can help you achieve them. Visit lakelandcollege.ca or email hello@lakelandcollege.ca.
Mountjoy Snow Resort is hoping to improve the experience for guests who hit the slopes this winter with the installation of a new $36,000 upgrade. Jace Mackey has a look at the new snow distribution system and the local company that's making it a reality.
When Mountjoy opens for the season, visitors will see better snow quality and more coverage thanks to a new upgrade to the hill snow distribution system that is being installed this week by BPC Services.
Mountjoy's been looking to do an expansion project on their water system up here so they can get snow efficiently made more throughout the whole hill. We're installing 4 new hydrants out here, and there will be the capability to add snow to the far south runs as far as the far north runs as well.
Improving the quality of the snow on the south side of the hill is a big upside of this project. In past years, the resort has had to rely only on natural snow to cover the south side. This project will also lighten the load for the resort's volunteer snowmaking crew.
Our south side of our lift line hasn't had good snowmaking forever, and this here is really going to advance snowmaking, better quality, more snow, easier for our volunteers. We've got a very good dedicated crew that comes out when it's 15 below to make snow, and this will be a lot easier than dragging hoses and trying to keep them thawed out.
The resort has worked with BPC for different upgrades over the last 3 years, and both parties say it's been great to work together to improve the hill for the local community.
They've been super cooperative, very good to work with. They're a great corporate citizen, and they've been very accommodating cost-wise.
They don't have a lot of funds coming towards them, so it's nice to be able to help out and contribute a little bit. I myself have used this hill and kind of cursed it for not having enough snow in the past, so it's really nice to be able to help out and actually be able to contribute to something that I myself can use.
When the resort reopens this winter, they're hoping the improved product will help ease some of the stress caused by new COVID restrictions.
There's definitely lots of changes in our rental, our lift tickets, our chalet, and even our lifties with helping people onto the lifts. And we're getting coached well by Canada West Ski Area Association, which we are a member of. And but there'll be some wrinkles, but we'll make sure it's safe for the customer as well as for our volunteer group.
The upgrades are expected to be completed by the end of the week. For Primetime Local News, I'm Jace Mackey.
Now our Eric Bay will take a look at your weather forecast.
Thanks, Jasmine. Taking a look here at your local weather forecast. Another beautiful day here in the border city, as you can see, reaching 20 degrees today. That's going to be kind of the peak here over the next few days, but we will get into that in a second. Taking a look right now here around the area, as you can see, pretty similar all over the area. 19 degrees in Marway, 19 up in Cold Lake and Bonnyville. Lac La Biche as well. They're also seeing 19 degrees today. St. Paul, the high point there on the Alberta side, 22 degrees. Edmonton and Vegreville sitting at 20 degrees. Vermilion 21, and Provost down in the south also at 20 degrees. Now as we take a look over on the Saskatchewan side of the border, you can see pretty similar as to the Alberta side. 18 up in Isle La Crosse, 20 degrees in Green Lake and Meadow Lake, 19 degrees in St. Walburg and Maidstone, 19 as well in North Battleford, and 21 degrees in Macklin. Taking a look here now at your satellite radar, pretty clear on that Saskatchewan side, but as you can see, a little bit of those rain showers here in this Vegreville area. Those shouldn't make it into Lloydminster until maybe that early morning. There is a 30% chance we could see some of those showers reaching the city here, but looking pretty good here overnight. As we turn towards North Battleford, you can see dropping down to 13 degrees. They're expecting a pretty sunny day, some mix of sun and cloud there, but no chances of any showers, sitting at 21 degrees. Moving up to Cold Lake, they're going to see a little bit of that rain coming in possibly tomorrow afternoon. 15 degrees is the high, but there is a chance they could see some thunder showers as we approach that afternoon. 60% chance there, and as I mentioned, Lloydminster sitting again at 18 degrees tomorrow, another high one, but once again, there's a chance we get to see some of those showers in the morning. 30% chance though, so should clear off as we reach later in the day. Now taking a look at your 3-day forecast, pretty nice overall. 18 degrees on Thursday, as I mentioned, that precipitation, pretty low chance there. And then Friday, great way to kick off your weekend. 19 degrees and sunny is your high there. But Saturday, we will see a few of those rain showers approaching, a little cooler, 13 degrees. That low though is going to be 8 degrees, so not too much variation there. And then again, it will be getting sunnier as we head into next week. And we're going to have some more primetime local news for you after the break.
While the Alberta Schools Athletic Association, along with Football Alberta, have suspended high school football play for now, teams are back on the field for practice. Evan Kenny has more on the team's return.
Well, currently behind me, the Raider Bowl is once again empty, but at last night's first Holy Rosary practice, the team was locked and loaded for the 2020 season.
We were looking forward to this for a long time. We didn't get to do a spring camp. We got to do some stuff virtually, but that's not the same.
For two Raiders, football came back even sooner. Offensive linemen Lucas Seffern and Clay Vetter have both committed to the University of Saskatchewan for next season. For both future Huskies, it's a dream come true.
And so for them to continue the progress and keep talking to me to the point where I get the chance to commit and come play football at my dream school, it's just a dream come true. Almost like seems surreal to think about it now, and almost seems like it's not happening.
It's been a long time dream for me and Clay. We've been talking about it since we started playing football. It's been the dream school to go to, and it's kind of surreal that we're actually getting the chance to finally go out there.
Seffern and Vetter were signed based on their grade 11 seasons, and for their current head coach, it was a no-brainer.
From what you get from a football standpoint, they're the same kid. Both sides of the ball, same passion, same energy, just a pleasure. Well, the only surprise is really what team they went to. It was inevitable they were going to sign with somebody. They were, pretty hot commodities for some teams, and U of S is the lucky school.
Their future head coach would have to agree. U of S head coach Scott Flory spent 14 seasons in the CFL, winning 3 Grey Cups as an offensive lineman. The two longtime teammates hope to leave their high school careers on a high note before venturing off to Saskatoon.
To somebody you know, it gives you an extra comfort feeling for sure to have a guy that you've known out there for your whole life, basically, a good buddy. So,
Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Thanks, Jasmine. Once again, taking a look here at your current weather in the border city. And another nice day here today, as you can see, sitting at 20 degrees today. Lots of sun, and that should continue into tomorrow. A possible chance of some showers early in the morning, but that is going to clear off and look very much like it did today. Cold Lake as well, sitting at 19 currently. They're going to see more of the same earlier on tomorrow. However, the difference there is they're going to see a chance of some thunder showers actually later on in the afternoon. 60% chance of that there. At the Basket, sitting at 19 degrees today. Whitecourt at 14, 18 over in Jasper. Could see some showers this weekend. 20 degrees in Rocky Mountain House and 21 degrees in Red Deer. Taking a look now over on the Saskatchewan side, we're seeing 20 degrees in Meadow Lake and Prince Albert, 18 in Melfort, 21 in Saskatoon, and 19 degrees in North Battleford. Moving our way down now south to the southern part of Saskatchewan, Kindersley sitting at 20 degrees, Moose Jaw and Swift Current both seeing 22 degrees, and Regina sitting at 21. And as we move over now onto the Alberta side, Medicine Hat and Lethbridge both sitting at 23, some nice days there. Coronation and Calgary both sitting at 21 degrees for themselves. As we take a look now to the northern part of both provinces, a little bit cooler as we move up, but still fairly warm. Fort Mac and Fort Chip both seeing 19 degrees currently. Peace River, Grand Prairie, Slave Lake, they're seeing some cooler temperatures, 16 degrees there. And as we move now over onto the Saskatchewan side of the border, Uranium City sitting at 15, Stony Rapids has 17 degrees, Wollaston Lake and South End both sitting at 15, and La Ronge sitting at 17 degrees. Now taking a look here at your overnight temperatures around the region. Going to stay fairly warm and pretty clear actually all over in the area. Meadow Lake sitting at 12 degrees, Isle La Crosse at 11, Pearson also seeing 11 there, 12 degrees in Paradise Hill. Murnum, they're going to see a little bit cooler temperatures, only 8 degrees there, but again, just a mix of cloud cover there, so we're going to look pretty good here as we head into tomorrow. As we take a look at your school day forecast, as you can see, going to warm up fairly quickly, 15 degrees already by recess there. Lunch is going to see 18 degrees, and then that cloud cover, we're going to see that move off into the school's out time, 16 degrees and completely sunny. However, that wind will pick up throughout the day. We could see some gusts reaching over 50 kilometers an hour, and those gusts are going to continue over the next few days in that 50 to 60 kilometer range. As we take a look now tomorrow, again, fairly similar temperatures overall. Lloydminster sitting at 18, Vermilion, Wainwright as well. They're both going to see 18, Marwayne 17. Maidstone just down the highway is going to see 19 degrees. St. Walburg is going to hit 18, Pearceland 16, and Cold Lake up north 15. As I mentioned, a chance of those thunder showers reaching the lake. Take a look here at your 7 days, looking pretty good, especially considering we have reached fall temperatures. 19 degrees is going to be on Friday. Again, a lot of that sun. We are going to see some showers on Sunday, 65% of that happening there. 13 degrees though, but then it's all going to look sunny from there. 15 degrees on Sunday, mix of sun and cloud. Monday is going to see 14 and sunny, 13 on Tuesday, and then a high of 19 Wednesday as the weather picks back up. We are going to have more primetime local news for you after the break.
I'm pleased to be joined on Primetime Local News today by Leah Marlene. And Leah, thank you for joining us. I know you have a busy day and you're involved in so many things, so we appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Well, Leah, I want to talk about you as a musician. You are working on so many different things. You have your own material and you're producing, but let's talk about your music first. Where are you at, and when are you going to be coming out with some new songs, and kind of, I guess, talk a little bit about your career?
So I have released a few projects in the past, but right now I am currently working on an album that is set to release in at the end of October / early November. I think singles will start coming out at the end of October, and then the album will come a few weeks after that. So I've just been getting into producing my own stuff fully in the past year, honestly, very majorly in quarantine, which has been a very exciting thing. I've never given myself the space to do that, so that's very fun. And I've also been producing with one of my friends, Taryn Fairchild. We just released a track called Mr. Genie. It is very fun. I would definitely recommend checking it out. But so that's what I'm currently up to, and it's really fun to just start recording tracks that I have been sitting on for a very long time. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for this project to come out in a few months.
Now, you are in Illinois, is that correct, Leah?
Yes, I'm in Illinois right now. I go to college in Nashville at Belmont University, but I am remote this semester, so I'm doing all Zoom classes and all that fun stuff. So.
And you were actually born in Canada, and your dad is, for those who don't know, Derry, who is the guitarist from Honeymoon Suite, been around, obviously, a Canadian classic band for a long time. So I'm guessing maybe he helped you a little bit in the early years especially?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. So I was born in Toronto, and I didn't live there for very long, but I totally caught the music bug from my dad, and he taught me everything with guitar and songwriting, and just being in a house full of music all the time totally just formed my whole existence. So I've learned pretty much everything from him, and he's kind of like been his knowledge has been the foundation for everything that I've then stepped on to do without him. But especially also gigging. In the early days, I'd always play with my dad when I was like in 3rd grade through like high school. It was so fun. We'd always play together. It was very sweet. So yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
And you've been doing this for a long time. I mean, you're only, is it 19 now?
Yeah, I'm 19 now.
So when did you start? When did you kind of, I know you said that obviously you were quite young, but is this something where, you know, kindergarten, you pick up a guitar and you start, you know, playing around with it a little bit, or has it been pretty much your entire life?
Yeah, so I mean, I was singing since I came out the womb, but actually playing instruments, like learning them, not just like banging on them. I think I started piano lessons in like 1st grade or something around there. I hated it. My dad wanted me to learn piano before guitar, so I did it for a little bit. And then I really started learning guitar around 3rd grade. So I was like probably 8, and I started like professionally gigging around 4th grade, like 9 years old. But I played like and sang for the first time in like 3rd grade, a few 3rd grade talent shows and stuff. And then 4th grade on, I just started gigging, and it got a lot more busy and a lot more committed as it went on. So.
And was singing something that came naturally to you, or did you have to take lessons? Some people I know are just gifted and just get up there and they're good to go. But did you have to take any vocal training at all?
Oh, I've definitely had vocal training from some wonderful people that have been like instrumental in my music career so far. But it also was a very natural thing. Like when I was younger, if you go, my YouTube channel goes all the way back to like when I was 8, so you can see pre-lessons and during my first lessons, you can see the whole progression. It's very funny, but yeah, so it was very natural. Like it was something that came easier to me, but it was not. It had a lot of refining to be done. There's been a lot of practice and a lot of people that have poured a lot into it that I'm like so grateful for.
So Leah, how would you describe your style of music? I've listened to some of it, and there's, you know, some rock feel, there's some kind of folk feel. Is it maybe tough to put a category on it, or do you try and just whatever comes out, comes out?
Yeah, I love that question because there's not really an answer. So what's out right now was kind of like my first, I don't know, like 6 months of co-writing in Nashville. That was the first time I ever co-wrote. So I didn't really have anything refined at that point. That was like, but it was a very like instrumental part of my development in that, right? So there's a lot of sounds that the world has not heard since then that are more primarily like where I'm at. But I love funky stuff like jazz and bluesy stuff. I love folk and Americana and just like emo stuff too in that category. And then yeah, rock and like, I don't know, literally anything. So I think I'm kind of releasing stuff in like a mood/genre collection kind of thing, but it really like I'm never writing to fit in any sort of box. I just like whatever is coming through me, I'm not going to restrict that. And like I guess my genre would be authentic. if that's not cheesy to say, like just whatever is authentic, that's my genre.
Well, Leah, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. And if anybody would like information or they want to listen to your music, obviously I see it's on Spotify, social media, what's the best way to reach you?
Thank you so much for having me, first of all. And as far as social media goes, all of my social media is under Leah Marlene or Leah Marlene Music. So if you type that in, I'm active on Instagram and Facebook, a little bit on YouTube, and all that jazz. I also have a website, and definitely check out my Spotify and such things to get prepped for new music coming.
All right, well, thanks again for speaking with us. We'll talk to you again soon once you have everything released, so please keep in touch. And your music is just amazing. Like, listening to it for the first time, the vocals are just incredible. So I'm glad that you know, your dad was there to help you out, but clearly you're making it very fine on your own. So thanks again, and good luck with everything in the future.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm joined here today with Robin Stewart, Executive Director of the Western Canadian Music Alliance. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Of course. So the 2020 Western Canadian Music Awards are going to be given out this Friday. How will they be presented this year due to COVID-19?
Well, we're partnering with CBC to do a bit of a pre-show on CBC Winnipeg Radio 98.3 on the program Up to Speed, where they'll be announcing 3 winners in the hours between 3 and 6 as a lead up sort of teaser leading into it. And starting at 6 o'clock, we'll have the full program with all the awards being announced, streamed through our Facebook Live as well as on our delegate platform. So we're coming to homes with wherever you are safely.
And how can people tune in to watch the award ceremony in case they don't know?
Yeah, they can go to Breakout West Facebook page, and that's where we'll be showing it live and chatting with everybody watching and checking out the winners and celebrating them. And we'll be joined also by past winners, partners, and so forth, who will be announcing the various winners throughout the program.
And since the event will be live streamed this year, will there be performances still involved for viewers to watch?
We will have a few performances by nominees. They're all pre-recorded just to make sure that they have all their tech all ready. I think we've all learned that there are lots of ways to do it online, but we want to eliminate any what ifs and make sure that these artists are having the most stress-free performance they can. Mm-hmm.
And has there been lots of obstacles to get through this year since the pandemic to be able to have this ceremony?
There has. It was always our intention this year, interestingly enough, to change how we present the awards. And so we were a bit up in the air to begin with, but the pandemic has really directed how we needed to do that for this year. And we'll see how it works and then see how we reinvent next year. Our goal really is to celebrate the artists, nominees and winners, and to reach them as well as their fans in great ways. So, yes, it pivoted. I think understandably it changed, but I think we're going to accomplish some really great celebrations of Western Canadian music anyway.
And do you believe there will still be lots of support, like people showing support and tuning in, even though it's online this year?
Mm-hmm. I do. Typically we present our awards because our event moves around in the city where we're hosting. We obviously share through press releases and through socials who those winners are and celebrate them. But in this way, I think we could have a bigger reach because we aren't in one city. We're effectively nowhere and everywhere at the same time. So I actually think this reach will be really big and compared to other years. And we'll also be leaving it up on Facebook for a while so that if you didn't catch it at the right time, you can check it out after, or you can go and check out snippets. Artists might want to go and just show their friends the part that they were in, and that's all possible this year.
And now this is the 18th year for the Western Canadian Music Awards. How impressive has it been to see how many nominees there are to represent the talent in Western Canada?
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, our cycles of nominees go obviously with releases of albums and what people are working on, but this year's nominees was one of the hardest I've seen in terms of choices for the jurors. Each of our categories have professional juror level or groups who review them, and then also voting by the Music Industry Association members for several categories. And we are not involved with that, so it was really exciting to me to see who came down to the short list of nominees and get really excited about them, because it was probably one of the most exciting years for me to see who the nominees were in the end. There was so many incredible acts up.
And why do you personally believe that these awards are important and the Western Canadian Music Alliance organization is essential for artists here?
Well, I think there's a number of reasons. I think when an artist applies to an award program or any juried program, the first step is that they're getting their music viewed by professional jurors. So that's industry in the same category, professional that they are, people who are seeing their music and getting that new reach. So that's the first step. And then celebrating the nominees and further the winners, really, I think it helps just build the excitement and the recognition around what those artists are doing and getting recognized for it. Especially this year, artists are working very much at home and prior to this, even just in studio, and where you're working on a piece for so long and perfecting it to what you want to put out. The recognition, whether it's the applause of a crowd or an award program like this, I think is really important to artists to see that what they're doing makes sense, that fighting it out and putting in all the work is going to be valued and is going to be celebrated.
Is there anything else you'd like to add for residents to know about concerning this ceremony this Friday?
I would say just make sure you mark your calendar and check it out. There's some really exciting, presenters bringing out these awards. We want to just honor all of this music being done. This has been a really hard year worldwide, but especially in the music industry. And I say that internally because it's where we live. But artists are doing so many great and intuitive and exciting things right now. This is celebrating their music over the past year. And I think we need to just honor the great things that are coming out of Western Canadian culture.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Robin.
Thank you.
Looking ahead to the next 7 days here in Lloydminster, as you can see, pretty nice here as we do start into fall. Tomorrow, 18 degrees and sunny. There's a chance of some showers earlier on, and also that wind gusts are going to be hitting over 50 kilometers an hour. As we move on to Friday, 19 and sunny before we do see some rain Saturday. 13 degrees is the high, and then picking up throughout the rest of the week, ending with 18 and sunny on Wednesday.